Will you quit giggling like a weirdo first thing in the morning? Cinderella rolled his eyes at me. Say whatever you want about me, for I am a saint and I shall forgive you. With that, I popped a bite of French toast into my mouth. The sweet bread was totemo oishi.
You've been in a rather good mood lately, Poppet. What's put that spring in your step?
Oh, you'll never believe it! But just as I was about to tell him about my prince, I realized Gretel was still at the table with us. I mean, it's nothing. My spirits instantly deflated. Phew, that was close. If Gretel finds out about my rendezvous with Prince Charming, who knows what he'll do?
What are you hiding?
Gulp!
Every time you get that sickening little half-baked smile on your face, I know you're up to no good. Wait! Don't tell me. Does this have something to do with your Prince Charming?
Oh, baby brother, if only you weren't so sharp! No, really, it's nothing. I haven't even seen him since then. I lied with a straight face. Then I glanced at Red, who averted his eyes. To be fair, I'd already warned him not to tell anyone else about my plans with Snow White, but that didn't guarantee he would keep his word. Anyway, these donut bites sure are great, just like everything else you make. If I was going to change the subject, I'd have to start by buttering him up like a biscuit. As part of today's breakfast, Gretel had made a towering stack of donut bites. Excuse me.
I know, right?
Fortunately, his love of sweets remained his biggest weakness. And they're so cute, too!
You can say that again.
Kaguya took the hint and chimed in. Thank you.
I always imagined donut bites as golden brown. Didn't realize you could make them in all sorts of colors and add little decorations.
Indeed. Gretel's donut bites came in a variety of cute pastel colors, like pink, blue, and green, with star-shaped sprinkles on top.
Of course you can. You can drizzle them with strawberry syrup, or dust them with cocoa powder. When you're working with plain donuts, the possibilities are endless.
Wow, that sounds fun! Maybe I'll give it a try myself sometime. And if they turn out good, maybe I'll bring them as an offering, a gift, for my prince.
Guys, really? Couldn't you have picked a more wintry dessert? Like gingerbread cookies or something?
So what if they're not seasonal? People enjoy donuts all year round.
Maybe, but our customers are the type who like limited edition crap.
Well, these are for me, not them. Obviously, I'd make something more seasonal if it was for the cafe.
Says the guy who believes eating snow cones in winter is a luxury? Wintry, huh? Admittedly, Cinderella had a point. Our customers weren't going to be interested in donut bites. I can't believe that. That's just unacceptable. What else could we offer them instead? Just then, a fun idea crossed my mind. Now that might be interesting.
What's with the little smirk? You're creeping me out.
Yoink!
Hey!
As revenge for his mean comment, I reached over and stole one of his donut bites.
What happened to "I'll forgive you"?
That's what you get. I popped the donut into my mouth and pouted.
I guess her sainthood was short-lived then.
I'm a fickle saint. So yeah, I made a whole bunch and brought it with me. Feel free to try some.
Pass.
That night, I arrived at the lake and offered Prince Charming my gift, which he staunchly refused. What do you mean, pass? Reflexively, I looked over at Red.
Rest assured, she is a very good cook.
On cue, he vouched for my skills.
So what?
But Snow White's utterly uninterested response stabbed me in the heart.
Couldn't you at least try? No, I couldn't.
He shot us down without hesitation.
Let's not push our luck, Eureka.
Red looked at me with sympathy in his eyes. But I refused to back down. Instead, I summoned all my courage and quick thinking. Then how about a warm drink?
No thanks.
Just like that, all my courage and quick thinking was decimated in an instant. Thermos in hand, I looked at my brother. Want some, Red?
If you would be so kind.
He answered with a resigned nod. Steam rose into the air as I poured the hot liquid into a to-go cup. The sweet fragrance filled me with indescribable happiness.
What is that?
Just a little something I invented. I call it hot fruit punch.
Hot fruit punch.
Even Red looked perplexed. I know the words fruit punch make it sound like a soda, but the punch part is made from 5 ingredients. Water, sugar, rice wine, lime juice, and spiced tea. Add fruit and you get fruit punch. So from there I improvised to create a warm version.
And what are these snowflake things floating in it?
Oh, I made those with gelatin. Normally gelatin is clear, but when you add color to it and pour it into a mold, you can make whatever shapes you want. And you can use fruit juice to flavor them, too. I repeated everything Gretel had ever taught me about gelatin in a single breath.
Why snowflakes?
Because they're cute? No way on earth was I going to admit that it was a reference to his name. So instead, I came up with a more tame reason.
Snowflakes. For Snow White. Did you make these for me?
What? Well, yeah. I couldn't hide it anymore. I mean, it's cold out here, you know? So I wanted to warm you up somehow. As I spoke, I thought back to the first time I touched his ice-cold hand.
I see.
Evidently, he had taken an interest in the gelatin shapes. He scooped one up and jiggled it around on his spoon. You can have one if you like.
Pass.
Does he think I poisoned them or something? Well...
It's very cute, though.
He smiled slightly. And then, out of nowhere... Are you gonna feed me? That's our first picture with you. Always come back to the feeding. That is very cute. Aw, she did a great job. I love those. I wonder why he calls her Arisu instead of Eureka. Out of all the guys.
Open your mouth, Arisu.
Huh?
Open your mouth.
You know, out of context. Him. He repeated his request more firmly. Then he held up the spoon with a little snowflake resting on it. Wait, is he going to...
Say, "Aw."
Ah? I opened my mouth and he popped the gelatin inside.
How is it?
Tasty. I had flavored the shapes with apple juice, which paired nicely with the rest of the punch.
Cool.
You could have one too.
I don't want any. Here, open your mouth.
Opening my mouth again, I let him feed me another snowflake. Red, are you still conscious over there, by the way?
How's business at the cafe?
We're doing pretty good. I swallowed my mouthful of gelatin. Did you want to swing by sometime? Hisodemo daikange?
No thanks.
When he mentioned the cafe, I took that to mean he was interested in visiting. So I invited him out of courtesy, only to be shot down.
Here, say "aw."
Ah. I happily opened wide as requested. This went on for quite some time. As for what happened next, well... I'm so full. I clutched my belly as we walked.
Are you surprised, given how much you ate?
It wasn't my fault. He looked so cute when he was feeding me. How could I possibly tell him to stop? I made enough for you to have some too, but then I ended up eating it all. Sorry, Red.
Oh, no. I don't mind.
In the end, I polished off all the fruit punch. I just wish he would have tried some. Maybe it was my fault for making it for him without asking, but I was still a little disappointed. Maybe he's not comfortable with home-cooked food. Obviously, I kept things clean and sanitized, but he had no way of knowing that, so I could understand if he preferred to stick to store-bought food. Maybe it was a little premature of me to start making food for him.
Are you sure about that? He seemed happy to me, at least.
Did he?
He did indeed. That and he called you cute.
What? No, he was calling the punch itself cute.
Wait, what? I was under the impression that he was saying you were cute for making it. Eureka?
I stopped short. Red looked back at me, frowning. I never thought of that. It was a viable theory. But still, you'd think he'd at least try one.
Maybe he wasn't hungry. Or maybe he just doesn't like food.
That's impossible! Think of all the wonderful things this world has to offer. Steak, quiche, ratatouille, salsa, stew, rice, bread, not to mention a whole world of desserts from all over the globe. How can anyone possibly dislike all of it? I ranted and raved like a woman crazed. This is food!
I guess he just does.
Red shrugged calmly. I can't believe this. I was just speechless.
Given his petite stature, I can't really imagine him having a large appetite anyway.
Maybe he has acid reflux. I mean, most of the big eaters I know are skinny anyway.
I'd say the chances of that are very slim.
Yeah. Besides, I guess I can't really picture my prince getting fat. And yet, as soon as the words left my lips, their impact sank in. Fat? Prince? The words didn't even go together. Can you picture a fat Snow White? Why are we here? What is this? What does this choice influence? Okay, I'm gonna make this choice based off the fact that Snow has a complex, let's just say, about his looks. He doesn't like to be called pretty. So maybe we should picture him as being fat. That means we look beyond his looks, you know? Hopefully. I don't know. I really don't know if this even matters, but Oh my god. This is Fat Byakuya all over again. He's not even, like, fat here, even, really. He's, like, a little fuller in the cheeks, but, like, that could just be because he's smiling. Oh my goodness, alright.
I'm so hungry. I love carbs. Curry is a drink, pizza is the vegetable, and meat is a vitamin.
We'll leave the rest to your imagination. How do you feel about Fat Snow White? Heck yeah! On second thought, I love it! I pumped my fist. Who cares about a little chub? Not me. If anything, it's super cute. Take seals and pandas, for example. They've got plenty of padding, but they're still adorable, so the same goes for my prince. Heck yeah! Anyway, I shook away the image in my mind. things didn't work out this time around, but I just have to keep trying.
Just don't overdo it, please.
I think I'm gonna overdo it. Yeah, I think that's the strat.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me what I want to see. Tell me what I want to hear. A fat Snow White is what I want to see.
Yeah, now looking at it, I'm like, I don't think he was even fat in that imagery we had. It was just a close-up of him smiling.
You look happy. I was in my room, reading a book, like always. You think so? I answered without looking up. Did something fun happen today? Not really. Well, I'm glad. I was going to ask him what he was glad about, but when I looked up, I found him pulling a cigarette out of his pocket. But then he put it right back again. You're not gonna smoke. I tilted my head in confusion. Ryoshi smoked like a chimney. This was quite possibly my first time ever seeing him decide not to. Nah, not this time. Besides, if I lit one up in here, it'd be a fire hazard. Huh. Was he making a barbed comment about the state of my room? I decided not to ask. Loath as I was to admit it, he had a point. It would only take a single spark to make this whole room go up in flames. Plus, something fun did happen today. Snowflakes. Snow White. Prince Charming. I thought back to the fruit punch she made for me.
Aw, you got a little giggle out of him.
What a stupid thing to come up with, honestly. And yet, the thought that she had made it for me put a smile on my face in spite of myself.
See, he's smiling. It was just a zoomed in at this. Aw, he's so happy. Look at this sweet boy.
I couldn't keep my laughter inside any longer. It was just so ridiculous. I had done my best to keep a straight face while she was around. Surely I'd earned the right to laugh in private. Ryoshi gave me a look that suggested he could see right through me. Evidently, he knew why I was in such a good mood. Well, no surprise there. Hey, Huntsman. What does fruit punch taste like? This was the first question I asked after I caught my breath from laughing. Sugar. Clearly I asked the wrong person. I needed a little more to go on than that. How else was I supposed to imagine it? Then again, she was supposedly an amazing cook, so maybe her fruit punch wouldn't taste like the normal stuff anyway. Why don't you try it yourself and find out? What if I could? Snow, if you keep this up, you're gonna wind up dead. I know, but I just can't. Knowing this body of mine, it would probably reject her food, same as all the rest.
What does that mean? That being said, as I was washing the dishes, I thought back to last night. I wanted to make my prince happy, but I didn't have any concrete idea of how to accomplish that. There was still so much I didn't know about him. So, his body rejects food. Except for apples? Or is apples like the one thing that kind of doesn't disagree with him all the time? So, I guess the twist is going to be, instead of an apple poisoning Snow, we need to like feed him possibly an apple or something to cure him. Maybe. Twisty business. Obviously, we'd only just met, but that wasn't all there was to it. It felt like he was constantly on guard, or at least he didn't seem to want to talk about himself. Maybe if we got to know each other better. and yet I couldn't think of any way to accomplish that either. What was on his mind? What was he looking for? Was there any way I could find out? What do guys like anyway? Oh, I know! I'll ask this guy, the womanizer.
What? You want to know what guys like?
Yeah! I summoned Cinderella to my room so I could hear his perspective as a guy.
You made it sound like you wanted to talk about something serious. Way to waste my time.
He sat on my bed and rolled his eyes at me. It's not a waste of time. My whole future hangs in the balance here. Sitting on the floor across from him, I desperately tried to make him see things my way. Sure, maybe I was getting ahead of myself, but if we started dating, then surely marriage was just over the horizon. Right?
Knowing you, this is about your prince, right?
He sighed in annoyance and fixed me with a withering look. This knocked all the good cheer right out of me. How did you know?
Are you kidding? Who do you think I am, huh?
My all-knowing, all-powerful older brother Cinderella?
Damn right. So there's no way I wouldn't put two and two together. And yeah, I know about your little nightly trips to the lake.
Well, if Red knows about it, then I guess it makes sense Cinderella would too. Which means Kaguya definitely knows. Wait. So Cinderella... Are you implying that Cinderella and Kaguya are like best bros in this verse? Because I'm okay with that. I'm sorry. I slumped my shoulders to repent for my behavior. Not that I felt I had done anything wrong, but it probably wasn't safe for me to be going out at night to meet up with a guy I barely knew.
I kept my mouth shut since Red's been going with you, but you better not get into trouble, you hear me?
Yes, sir. I nodded meekly. In response, he smiled and stroked my hair. I love so much. Despite his no-nonsense attitude, it was crystal clear that he cared for my well-being. So, anyways, what do guys like? When I repeated my question, his gaze left my face and drifted downwards. No, that's just you.
Legs.
Legs?
Yeah, guys like long, slender legs. So just show him your legs. That's my best advice.
Okay. He beamed like he was a genius for suggesting this, but I wasn't so sure. Then again, I wasn't a guy, so obviously he would know better than me. Kaguya, what do guys like? And so... Ta-da! Today I'm wearing my work uniform! If I was gonna flaunt my legs, that meant wearing a miniskirt. And that meant my work uniform. No idea who originally decided we'd make miniskirts mandatory at the cafe. I wonder whose idea that was. Still, it was a cute combination of Eastern and Western sensibilities, complete with a frilly hem.
Aren't you cold in that?
That wasn't the reaction I was expecting to get. No, I'm okay. I gave him a thumbs up. After all, what's a little discomfort in the name of looking good? Gotta suffer for fashion.
But you've got goosebumps.
Achoo!
And you're sneezing.
Not having any comeback to that, I silently covered my nose.
And that Riding Hood guy is ogling you with a raging nosebleed.
Red, you're my brother. No ogling this time. I glanced over at Red. He waved his hands dismissively, his face beet red. Man, we could have gotten so much further along with him and his route if we had just worn a miniskirt.
No, I'm not. Me, looking at your bare legs. I am most certainly guilty as charged.
Evidently, my miniskirt was super effective. On the wrong person. How are you suddenly so enthralled by my uniform, Red? Haven't you seen it like a million times by now? Okay, I admit it, I'm cold. Really, really cold. Unable to bear it a moment longer, I tucked my knees into my chest and curled into a ball. At the cafe, we always had the heater running, but right now I was outside. In the middle of the night, during the winter. So yeah. Honestly, I don't know how other girls manage to wear stuff like this outside on a daily basis, but color me impressed. Right?
I can practically feel how cold you must be. Maybe you should put something else on before you get pneumonia.
As usual, my beloved Snow White was perfectly calm and composed. Good idea. Achoo! Goodbye, I'm going home. Clearly I asked the wrong person. I should have picked someone with actual experience in this department. Kaguya!
You want to know what bloke's like?
Yeah, you have a lot of relationship experience, right? So I thought maybe you could help me.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. Surely you must get your share of romantic interest from the lads, yeah? I mean, you're just so adorable.
Kaguya's compliment made me smile to myself. I still miss you. But I quickly snapped back to my senses and shook my head. No, that's not what this is about. I'm wondering how I can get a certain guy to notice me.
Is this about your Prince Charming, then?
Well, if Cinderella knows about it, then... you get the picture. Yeah, it's about him. He's proving to be quite the tough customer.
Oh, I see.
Out of interest, when it comes to women, what makes your heart skip a beat?
When I'm on a date with someone else and she comes charging over with a vicious look in her eye.
Oh god, you're not still the same, are you? That's not what I'm talking about. I said make your heart skip a beat, not make your heart stop.
Well, I reckon I'm weak for a cute smile.
A cute smile. Okay, got it. I grinned brightly.
Yes, that's lovely. Very charming as always.
I smiled bashfully as he stroked my hair. Wait, maybe I should be showing my teeth when I smile. Flashing those pearly whites, as they say. I beamed from ear to ear.
My puppet's so precious.
As she showered me with praise, I felt a derpy smile creep onto my face. Oh, or maybe I should try to do it all prim and proper. You know, like a model. Next, I donned a confident, seductive smile.
Oh, you've melted my heart, puppet.
Getting carried away, I let out a shrill cackle.
I'd say that's...
Bad?
Excellent!
It is? Wait, so they're all basically the same? I pouted.
To be clear, I don't mean to say that any old smile will do. But any smile is lovely when it's coming from you.
To prevent myself from grinning like an idiot all over again, I pinched my cheeks to keep my lips straight. You're so good at compliments, Kaguya. Then, as I let out a sigh, it hit me. Compliments! That's it! I should compliment him! The foundation of any social interaction. And besides, is there anyone on Earth who doesn't like compliments? I doubt it. I think you're gonna find one. And so. Oh, Prince Charming, you're so wonderful! And you're so kakui! As soon as I spotted him, I started complimenting everything I could think of. Sure, he was too focused on his book to pay me any mind, but did I care? Nah. I just kept on complimenting him, waiting for him to notice me. Eventually... And you're so cute, too! Ow! At this, he smacked me for some reason. Plan failed.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me what I want to see. Tell me what I want to hear. She's been acting weird lately. What? One time she showed up in skimpy clothes, and another time she started complimenting me out of nowhere. As I reported back to Ryoshi about her behavior, he shook his head and smiled. Oh, is that what you're worried about? Are you saying I shouldn't be? Do you know why she's doing this? Yeah, of course. She's trying to make friends with you, dummy. Friends? Startled, I looked up to find his icy blue eyes fixed on mine. He looked nothing like her, yet he reminded me of her somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you heard me. She wants you to like her, so she's doing these things to win you over. But I never asked for skimpy clothes or needless compliments. Then it sounds like she failed. The word failed stabbed into my heart. After all, I knew how it felt to try to impress someone, only to have that attempt backfire. It hurt. Still, I appreciate her wanting to be friends. I think. Oh, just admit it. He had seen right through me. My face flushed. So what about you? How do you feel about her? Well, I pictured her in my mind. A luxurious, castle-like mansion with elegant furnishings, banquets held every night, frills, lace, and ribbons. A pretty princess in a pretty dress. Indeed, she was reminiscent of a fairy tale princess. Maybe that was why I felt so restless around her. Why my mind went all fuzzy, like I was under a magic spell. That said, I was never the most emotionally expressive person, so the average person probably couldn't tell I felt that way. Yeah, I want to be friends with her too. Then go for it. But how? How do I make friends with her? Most people would know the answer to this question, but because I'd spent the majority of my life closed off from the rest of the world, I didn't know how to connect with people. You already know the answer to that. I didn't understand at first, but it didn't take long for me to figure it out. Simply put, I needed to act like a mirror and reflect her behavior back at her